Apart from my dance class, my work spoke a lot.
Like it was not, I didn't take it seriously. I would kind of just go and tell him this month it's 30, last month it was 20,000, this month only 10,000, something like that.
When you deliver a work, deliver it on time with that personal service touch you give to your clients.
I mean, it wasn't like, for a lot of people here, it may not be a huge loss, but I made losses of about 7 lakhs in 2017.
Yogita Ravindra Kumar. She's a celebrity fashion designer. Give her a big round of applause. She started off as a hobby. Now she's designing for celebrities. She's running her own fashion project. So, ma'am, thank you very much for making time to come here. And please tell us, why did you decide to become a boss? And what was that decision, to take that decision? What was the consideration you made? Please.
Hello everyone. So the reason I wanted to become a boss was first and foremost to feel how does it feel to be independent without asking money for example, you can say pocket money from your father. That is where I started feeling that. And I started with small things like taking tuitions, and then it went on to give me a lot of, I can say, confidence to start off my own business, and that was fashion. Reason I chose fashion was I dress well. I keep a lot of interest for sketching and dressing up well and showing up well. That was appreciated by a lot of people, and they came up to me to ask, like, why don't we try to be like you in terms of dressing? And that is how it started off with, say, a business for my friend. I started doing for friends, for my mother's friends, and my sisters and cousins. And it turned out to be a business where today, without reaching out a lot of people for business opportunities, it came my way to start my own business. And it feels really nice to do something for somebody else and also be a boss.
Yogita ma'am, so when you consider fashion industry, you started off as a hobby. Now you're running a boutique. So you're a celebrity designer now. What did that take to become a celebrity designer? What is that upskilling you should do? What are the challenges that you have to go through? And how big is the space? Because if some interested person is ready to invest in it, or they want to venture into this business, is there an opportunity? What does the ground look like?
For me to transfer myself from general clients to a celebrity client was basically networking, what we call today. But I was lucky enough because I didn't do a lot of networking, to be honest. I was into a couple of multiple skill and extracurricular activity, because basically I'm a dancer.
Okay.
I'm a Bharatanatyam dancer and a Kathak dancer. So there, where I used to go to learn dance class or, different types of dances, I used to get friends, co-artists who are celebrities.
Okay.
That was an easy approach for me.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I also know Priya Jain through Mansa Joshi.
Oh,
Yes.
okay, nice.
So see, that's the power of, basic networking, your how you surround yourself with, whom you surround yourself with, where do you see yourself in nearing future, and how do you associate yourself.
Okay.
So anybody will teach you anything, anywhere, across yourself, right next to your house, but choose wisely.
Okay.
Where do you want to see yourself?
Okay.
Place yourself, work hard to reach there. That will get you a platform to build your business. Most importantly, to build yourself.
Okay. If somebody has not got that edge of a networking thing, even though if they venture into this space, is there an opportunity?
Definitely.
Okay.
That also I have experienced. I'm not a person who is a networking person. Apart from my dance class, my work spoke a lot.
Okay.
So, how does your work speak? You need to wear it, show it, and even if you don't like to be procrastinated, oh, she's like that, chuck it off. Your work, you should be confident on that. Show it up every day. And there was one photographer who spotted me and said, hey, why don't you come and work with me? Let's collaborate. I took 3 long years just procrastinating that person. Should I work? What is he trying to do with me? Am I safe to
Okay.
work with him?
Okay.
These were all the things that came through my mind. But trust me, when I did a background check, and then when I landed up at his office, he said, "You took 3 long years to step into my office. I came every day to your dance class to just watch you guys dress up."
Okay.
And today he's one of the leading photographers in Karnataka. You must have heard of focus photography if anybody knows.
Okay.
He gave me an opportunity to meet artists,
Mhm.
say, "Dude, I think you should work with her because she does a fab job." Most importantly, even if your designs don't work, when you deliver a work, deliver it on time with that personal service touch you give to your clients. Nothing like that can beat it.
Okay. Okay.
Nothing
Very nice.
like that.
Right.
And it bought me a lot of traditional marketing. What you
Mhm.
say, word of mouth.
Mhm.
It was very organic. Even today, you will never see my business on social media. You'll just see my personal profile here and there, and you'll see my work. That's
And you're
all.
okay with that.
And I'm perfectly okay with that because
Yeah.
I don't want to cater everybody
Mhm.
because I want to stand out.
Okay.
I want to stand out. I want my work to speak for me, and I want clients to come in search of me.
Okay.
I don't want to go in. So that I developed only through my work.
Very nice. Very nice.
Actually, when I started, it was pretty much an overnight success. I think in the next 2 years, I really turned a good turnover. The kind of numbers you wouldn't like, I didn't imagine at least. It was good. It was great going. I actually made losses 5 years into the, actually 3 years into the business. The third year is when one of my clients didn't pay. So I was listening to the legal compliance part, and there was a lot of learning every time I come to a session like this. For me also, there's a lot of learning because what happened is I was onto a good product. I kept the prices really feasible. So it's not like there were issues with sales. There are still no issues with sales as such. The issues really are with me. Like, when I don't comply, like when I'm not asking for a purchase order, I don't expect people to pay. Like, it's my fault, and there, I mean, somewhere that ownership has to come in from within, that this is my business. It will run the way I want it to run. But like, I was saying, I did make a huge loss in 2017. I was almost on the verge of shutting down. So I'm not sure how much of the story you would already said. I started when I was a journalist like you. And while I was enjoying my job, I loved my job and everything. I mean, I'm sure there are a lot of people here who are in a job right now and thinking of switching over to business. So what I did in the first 2 years was basically just do my work, come home and manufacture all these things like soaps, and I gradually moved to chocolates, and now I have a full bath range. Like I just basically kept growing with what customer feedback I was getting. It was finally in 2017 when I made that huge losses, when I realized I can't depend on one source of income, which is when I started my B2B vertical, which when I walked in, this gentleman was talking about masalas.
Yeah, Ranjit.
Yeah. So we started a lot of B2B stuff, which basically is private label. So I am a big fan of outsourcing whatever you can. And so that is where I was the person where other brands would go to in order to get their, products manufactured. And after that, we've seen like a steady kind of growth year on year. And it's been great. But yeah, I need to really follow your little course material,
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So when it comes to challenges, what were the, like, you told some challenges like contracts or agreements kind of. If you can spread some light on that further and tell how did you overcome those challenges? What were the course correction? So you ensured that this doesn't happen. 2017 situation doesn't happen to you again. What was that course correction?
So basically, like your accounting thing that you were just talking about, earlier when I started, there were no accounts, okay? Because you're getting a salary. Let's say you're getting 20,000 per month. You're kind of spending 3,000 on your business. It doesn't really pinch, especially if you're living with parents. All those things are taken care of. It's only when you start paying the rent on your office, you start paying employees, that you realize how important it is to have your accounts in order. That was one major learning in 2017, is that I actually got a legal notice from the tax department saying you've not. So earlier, okay, let me just go back a little.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'll take up a little more
It's okay,
time.
it's okay.
What I used to do is I would go to my auditor every month. I've had an auditor since 2014. That's not been an issue. But I would just go and say, I think 30,000 I've earned or whatever, like from the business. It would be a very casual, consolidated number that I would give him.
Okay.
Like it was not, I didn't take it seriously. I would kind of just go and tell him this month it's 30, last month it was 20,000, this month only 10,000, something like that. Give him the purchase bills because that the vendor sends you. I had no billing system, like nothing at all. It's just one on the paper I would write and send it to the client. Client would pay. 2017, I realized unless you have a legally binding, I mean, it wasn't like for a lot of people here, it may not be a huge loss, but I made losses of about 7 lakhs in 2017, which is for me, it was a really big amount.
For everybody, that's a big amount.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm sure there are people
Yeah.
who it won't blink for that. Anyway, so after that is when I realized, hey, one, your accounts need to be in order. So let me tell you about the legal notice I got. I got a legal notice from the tax department saying, you've not declared an income of this 500, because of which you have to now pay, I don't know how many of you know this, but you have to pay double the amount on the invoice. So I had to pay 1,000 rupees plus 118 GST. Okay, that GST is 18%. That is when I realized, hey, you know what, this is just 1,000 something, and I got away actually very light. But if you look at it and if you're not maintaining that hygiene of accounts, you're looking at really huge problems. Like now I know if the tax guys come up to me and say in 2023 you didn't declare something, I can be like, here's the sheet, tell me which payment I've missed. Like that is something that I don't know how many people get the impact of this. Because I had to pay 1,200 rupees, it pinched me. I was like, why am I paying this? I've worked really hard to get where I am. And if this means I maintain a Google Sheet every day or like any of these accounting softwares, I will do it. You know, so that was really a big learning for me. That was a big challenge. I'm good at math, but I still hate maintaining accounts. Like it's my sorest point in business is, especially because we work in the creative field, I'm sure ma'am will associate. We like to design, we like to do things, we like working with our hands. We don't want to be sitting with a laptop. It's the most, for us, you know, it's like it really takes something out of us to sit and really do accounts. So I think that is a challenge that I had to really overcome. Other than that, there's the usual marketing, letting people know you're doing this. That is always a challenge.
Boss Wala. Be the boss.